Dead in Hip Hop conversation, man. We've been in it for a minute, but this album has been out longer than we've been an association. You know what I'm saying? So 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Tryin, 20-year anniversary. As you can see, we got one person missing. You know. Huh?
Nothing, man. Go.
Oh, okay. My bad, Mr. Adlib, man. We're going to start with Mr. C-Town. You know what I'm saying? I got C-Town in the house. To my left, I got Beezy. Say the 430.
What up, though? What up, though?
And then to his left, we got Mr. KBNs. What it do? Get Rich or Die Tryin, 50 Cent, Aftermath, Eminem, Shady Records.
In the scope.
You know what I'm saying? In the scope, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure. Beezy, you know what date it came out? Because you know you Beezypedia.
February 6th? February 7th?
February
6th, February 7th?
What year?
You right?
February what? 6th?
6?
Yeah.
Fucking 2003.
Yeah. I was still in Detroit. So yeah, that's crazy.
I just finished high school. That came out a year after I finished high school. It's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? But does it feel like it's been 20 years old?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Does it sound 20?
Nah. It sounds pretty current. It sounds, I mean...
There's a couple exceptions on that album.
No. I just meant like his music went so...
It went so south.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
yeah.
I don't want to say bad, but so bad.
Yeah, it did. It went bad.
This sounds more current than the shit he started doing after.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
I would definitely agree with that. Wanksta's the one that's kind of like, it don't feel today-ish. Like it feels 03.
But you know what shit still hit like a motherfucker?
21 questions.
Mini Man. Oh,
Yes.
Mini Man, man. Mini Man, that shit still
That's my shit.
fucking hit. I think that's
my shit.
I know when I used to bump the fuck out this album when it came out. And I remember Mini Man was on repeat. I played that shit on repeat a lot when this album first came out. Yeah.
Many.
Man, that shit was
I
so
don't
dope.
cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more.
21 questions though, Myke. You know, you brought up that track.
Nate Dogg.
Man, Nate Dogg was the feature to have.
Yeah, I mean,
anytime you put him on it was a hit.
Yeah, I mean, and at
He
this
was in
point,
that circle.
at this point, he was like a legend in the game. So he was still killing fucking hooks and shit at that point. So yeah, that was crazy.
But that song, even though it was very obviously woman-centric, that shit still hit today. No? So you was just playing around.
I skip it.
You skip it? Why you skip it?
It's not a bad song, but I skip it. I love me some Nate Dogg, but it's just that beat and his rap ain't really good on it. So I skip it. That's probably the only song I skip on this album because I'll let Wanksta play through.
It's nostalgic.
Yeah,
It's definitely
and it doesn't really irk me. But that song comes right after something real hard.
Pull up the track.
Is it come after Life on the Line?
Gotta make it to heaven.
Yeah.
Because Life on the Line and You Not Like Me was from his Guess Who's Back mixtape. Because back then, 50 was really like, he was kind of like the first dude to like really kind of put mixtapes before you release your albums on the map. Like he was, because he had released Power of the Dollar, which came out like in early 2000s because he had How to Rob on there. And then when Guess Who's Back came out, he had Ghetto Quran on there. So that mixtape led to that buzz. You know what I'm saying? That everybody was like, yo, who was this 50 Cent dude? And then once he got the cosign from Dre and M, it was like, at that time, I remember this was definitely one of the most anticipated debuts since Doggy Style. Like, I remember before Doggy Style came out, when Chronic came out, everybody was like, oh, who is this Snoop dude? Who is this Snoop Dogg dude? Like, when is he dropping the album? You get Dre to produce your whole album. Everybody couldn't wait for fucking Doggy Style to come out. And I feel like Get Rich or Die Tryin had that same anticipation. Like, everybody was wanting it. Like, underground dudes, like, mainstream dudes, everybody was like, yo, who's this 50 Cent cat? This motherfucker is, like, terrorizing fucking New York City right now.
You know, another thing, too, that really pushed the album over the top was obviously the features. You know what I'm saying? Like, M on Patiently Waiting. I've been patiently waiting for a track to explode.
And I think he produced that, too. I think Eminem produced that.
Produced that?
Yeah,
that one was hard. I think the introduction of what the hell was his crew?
G-Unit. Lloyd Banks.
Brain fart, man. You know, and I'm bad with names. Yeah. But yeah, you know, like he had Young Buck on Bloodhound. He had Tony Yayo on Like My Style. You know what I'm saying? Lloyd Banks on Don't Push Me. So it was a good intro to the squad too. And then Back Down.
Yeah, Back Down was another one.
This by Dre.
Yep.
Woo.
Yeah, Back Down was dope.
That's
Back
another
Down was
one.
dope.
I feel like, you know,
about me. 50 don't back down.
I think this album, bro, like even 20 years later, if he dropped it today, like if 50 came out, if 50 was a brand new artist and this is what came out, this would still go as hard. I don't know if it would go like Diamond. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what's so funny?
What's funny?
And I've said this before. I don't know if it was recorded or whatever, but I just said it in just regular conversation. As much as I bumped the fuck out this album, like when I play it now, it's like for the certain songs that I named already that I actually love, I'm like, damn, this shit. Did I just play it to death or something? And I'm just like, this just don't feel the same for some reason. I don't know why. I can't.
I played it today, and I haven't listened to it in a very, very long time, and it was still hitting to me. There were some songs I was like, oh, damn, did I like that back in the day?
Yeah.
But for the most part, a lot of it still hit. And but I think it may have been because you probably played it a lot.
That, and I think now that, 50 Cent's his decline in albums just got so bad that I feel like a part of that left it shouldn't have, but it left a bad taste in my mouth. So when I go back and listen to Get Rich or Die Tryin', it's like, damn. It's almost kind of like, damn, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Type of deal. But
I feel you. I think it hits a little bit harder for me than it does for you, but I played the fuck out of this, but also this shit was all over the radio. So fucking Many Men was on the radio.
I mean, In the Club
was on the radio.
Right the fuck off, bro.
PIMP was in the radio. 21
and he had a
Questions was on
remix.
the radio.
He had a
And he
remix
had a
for that one,
remix
yeah,
too.
for PIMP.
Oh, with Snoop?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, like almost half the album was on the radio and heavy rotation.
And then mixtapes. Then he got joints on there from the mixtape that was on there. So it was just kind of like,
Oh yeah, because Wankster was a single.
yeah,
And that was a bonus track.
Yep, because that was a single first, because that album, a lot of people credit that album to like that was the downfall of Murder Inc. Because when he started going that job,
Like,
Murder.
yeah, after Get Rich or Die Tryin' came out, you wasn't bumping Murder Inc. no more. Ja Rule career went kind of like it went quiet after that.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, I forgot he actually did that on the album. I thought it happened after the fact. But when I was like, damn, he actually did that in real time.
Yeah, and then Back Down was just another.
He said his whole
joint.
fucking name.
Yes, yes. No, 50 was saying names.
yeah.
Like, dang,
50 was
bro.
saying names, man. I mean, How to Rob, you already knew how he was rolling with.
Which pissed a lot of people off too, bro. I'll never forget that shit, bro. Like,
yes, bro.
But it made a name for himself.
It did.
And the shit worked. But yeah, the rappers were not happy about that shit.
Nah.
And I think one of the things that I found interesting is that they were kind of talking about their partnership, like 20 years that M, Dre, and 50 have like been together, bro. And when you think about the rap game, that's really unheard of for guys to be that cool with each other
For that long.
And
you don't hear about drama.
Yep. That's the first thing I was gonna say, Myke. You've never heard any drama in between those three. Now, has there been drama in the camp? Obviously with G Unit, the game situation and stuff like that. But between like 50, Dre, and M, never. Never.
Yeah. People have asked because I think M and 50 weren't really appearing on each other's albums like that. But then it seemed like anytime that conversation got brought up, one of them would go on Twitter and be like, "Nah, that's my brother."
Yeah.
Nah, that's still one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that just solidifies for everybody, you know what I'm saying, outside looking in, like this shit is deeper than rap for them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that M, when he looked at 50, it was kind of like what Dre did for M is what M did for 50. You know what I'm saying? And then I just think that they built that bond. So it's interesting that like the trajectory of their later albums just kind of went to the gutter.
No, I know it's crazy, right?
I would have never thought, right, like with how M and 50 both came out, that we would be at this point in their career talking about 50. Just keep making new TV series. And keep making intros to that.
And that was kind of one of the things, like he said that because one of them told a story about the Super Bowl, and Eminem said, he said I would not. He said he didn't want to do the Super Bowl without
M
50.
said that. M said
I think M said that. Yeah,
I think I remember reading that.
Yeah, man, and that's probably why 50 was there. He was like, man, that's my brother. That's so dope. Like he wouldn't do this shit without me. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think M saying that he wants to return the favor. That's why he's doing this 8 Mile thing. So if you look at where they started, like he posted a video of like the MTV News interview they did. Did anybody watch that? I watched it, man. They look so, except Dre still looked the same, but 50 looked so damn young, bro. Eminem was dressed in all this baggy shit with a headband and shit, and crazy shit like that. But yeah, it was just hearing them kind of sell the album at a time before anybody heard it. You know, so they were like, yeah, man, this shit is gonna be classic. And he, what did he say? He said it's going to be up there with all of the other classics. And he said, I'm not just trying to sell you guys got to hear blah, 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 blah.
And it was.
And it was. But normally when people get out, they just be talking.
No,
but this shit actually did or has become or is a staple in hip hop.
It is. Yes. It really is.
You know how we keep getting that question, you know, what album would you want to be in the studio while they were recording? This is one of those albums. You don't think so, Myke? With you know what I'm saying? With the ascension of G Unit, with Dr. Dre,
I wouldn't care to be in there.
Nah.
This is probably a regular old rap session.
You think so?
So he said that
I don't know.
He did, and this is all in the interview. He did 7 songs in 5 days. So I don't know. I think they were just all business. I don't think it was like the Chronic. Now, the Chronic is bro. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Boy, can you imagine them damn sessions, man?
Yeah, bro.
And there's not like there's like a whole bunch of like crazy artistic things going on, like Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like I'd want to be there to watch all these weird, intricate things. This was probably just motherfuckers in there rapping.
Yes.
Rapping extremely well, mind you. But I don't know that I'd really care that much to see it.
M also said that he wished his album was this hot. Do you think he's talking about Infinite or Slim Shady? It seemed like in the clip he was talking about Slim Shady.
I would think he would say Marshall Mathers, because this was around the time Marshall Mathers and Eminem show came out. So like this album, Get Rich or Die Tryin' is kind of close to the releases of those albums.
Whichever one his first album was. Yeah.
So was he saying my debut? He was my
debut. Yeah. That's what I meant. I probably named the wrong album.
So maybe he meant.
He was talking about Slim Shady. He wasn't talking about Infinite.
Can't have been talking about Infinite.
No one cares that much like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I.
So he's probably talking about Slim Shady.
Infinite would be more like the mixtape 50s.
Right.
Kind of like when Mobb Deep had their first album.
Yeah, Juvenile Hell. No one paid attention to it.
Nobody talks about that.
Infamous though, that's the one that's like,
All right, so let me ask you this. Which one's hotter then? If M said this album is hotter than his, which one do you guys think is better?
Okay, better and hot is 2 different things. So I think.
Stop playing the games, bro.
Look.
You know what Eminem meant.
Look, to me, I feel like Get Rich or Die Tryin' came
He's white. He just said hot because he probably thought that.
To me, Get Rich or Die Tryin' came in with a lot more hype than Eminem came in with, right? Because I don't think Infinite moved the needle at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no. We ain't talking about Infinite. I was just asking for clarification. So get that one out of there.
But what I'm saying is, like, it didn't set the table for Slim Shady LP, right? I think everything that happened to 50 set the table for Get Rich or Die Tryin'.
Answer the question.
Come on, man.
We gotta shoot.
Pick one, bro.
What do you mean?
Pick one. I don't know why you turn this into like some big dissertation.
Right.
It's not a dissertation. I think that Get Rich or Die Tryin' was on a hotter plate.
I say, I say Get Rich or Die. I mean, Get Rich or Die Tryin'. I was bummed the fuck out that shit. Because I was playing Things Fall Apart when it went around that time when Slim Shady LP came out. So I didn't bump that till later. So I'm gonna say Get Rich or Die Tryin' just off the strength that I listened to the mixtapes. I knew about the mixtapes, and I was waiting for this album, and I was playing the fuck out this album. So I think I definitely repeated Get Rich or Die Tryin' a lot more back then, more so than I did Slim Shady LP.
I never thought about it until I saw this interview. I'm gonna go with what I played the most. So I played both of them a lot. Shit, but I played Get Rich or Die Tryin' way more than the other one.
Damn, the other one, he came into the name.
I know, right? Slim Shady.
Because my boys, well, it's not about Slim Shady, so we'll do that later. But yeah, so which one you got, Myke? Which one?
I listened to Slim Shady more because I don't think I even got into 50 Cent's albums until album until well after it came out. Because My Introduction to 50 was in the club, and I was like, this song is stupid. I liked it. It was fun, and I knew every single word to
everywhere,
it. But I thought he was just like some pop rapper.
You thought that's what the album was.
Yeah. I thought it was gonna be like some flow rider shit. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I don't care to listen to this.
So what was the catalyst to get you to actually listen to the album?
Life on the Line. I saw like a live video of them playing Life on the Line. It was 50 and a whole bunch of just random ass dudes in fucking Tim's.
Yes.
And they were playing Life on the Line. And I was like, oh shit, murder. I don't believe. I was like, oh, they're making fun of Ja Rule. I'm in. Because I thought Ja Rule was terrible. No disrespect to Ja Rule, but yes, I thought he was terrible. So I was like, oh, okay, so this guy makes different shit. So when I went back and listened to the entire album, I was like, oh, he's doing the Biggie formula. Very smart. Very, very smart. But by that point, I'd already listened to Slim Shady LP 150 times.
Yeah, 9 times platinum.
Yep.
9 times platinum, bro. That's
the
insane,
first week it sold like 800,000, like the first week, which was, I mean, that was still great.
That's crazy for those days.
Yeah, that's still crazy because then his sophomore album went and sold $1 million in a week. Massacre did, but that shit went crazy.
Just the 12th LP in hip hop history to have the elusive diamond status. That's insane, bro.
I thought Diamond was 10 million.
Yeah, I thought so
I don't know.
I thought so too.
I'm just saying, Oh, you're probably right. It says, and with just another million sales would become the album. So you're right. Good catch. Appreciate you. Yep. So, but yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like, just kind of looking back, because kind of going back to what you were saying, B, like, this was a bit like cultural moment when this thing dropped.
It really was.
There was everything that preceded it, and then when it hit the streets, it was everything that came with it when everybody else got caught on. And I remember I was talking to this chick at the time, and
It's a white chick.
Not at all. It was a white chick.
And what got me is that we actually ended up talking about like hip hop. We actually ended up talking about this album. And I was like, shit, man, like, what the fuck? Like that's how big it became. It just, it exceeded, like,
white chicks,
certain type gender norms at the time. Like, it was, like, beyond, like
it crossed over.
It
crossed over. To me, like, when a hip-hop album crosses over, it's like you got multiple songs on the radio. And to me, like, at the time I was in Chicago, and I was kind of like on my basketball circuit, right? Like me and one of my homies, we used to go like court to court and kind of dominate the court, you know what I'm saying? All that type of stuff. And everywhere you went in Chicago, whether it was on the radio, at the park, like everybody was playing this album, bro. Top, like they just hit play and just let it ride. Like it was one of those, to me, I think it was the first moment for me in hip hop where I saw that. Or I felt that, like, cause it was just beyond seeing. Like you felt it. You watch MTV, BET, the fucking videos are all over the place. Like it was like you could not escape 50 Cent. Like anywhere you went to that was an urban place, they were playing something on 50's album, and that shit was I've never felt that before.
Yeah. People knew he was coming, man.
Last question I have, and I'm going back to the interview. The clip's on 50 Cent's Instagram if you guys want to see it.
Okay.
And that was really kind of for the listeners people to watching. Is this album up there with Illmatic, The Chronic, Ready to Die, the Marshall Mathers LP?
Yes.
Yeah. You can put it up there. I mean, just off the impact of it alone.
Illmatic, The Chronic, Ready to Die, Marshall Mathers LP.
I mean, when you say when you list classic albums, that's gonna definitely be up there. You know, it can be in a list of classic albums.
Yeah,
Dre said it's going to compete with all the classic hip hop records.
Like, what do you mean compete? Like what? Like sales wise or just sonically?
Anything.
It's in the same box.
I mean,
hell no, bro.
I mean, if I had to pick those albums you just named, I'm picking Get Rich or Die Tryin last.
Yep.
But I mean, if you list classic albums that impact hip hop, Chronic, Get Rich or Die Tryin, you could. It's gonna be up there with them. You don't think so, Myke?
No.
Really?
I think what they're asking, how I'm reading that question, is this album as good as these other classics? That's how I'm reading that question.
Okay,
and my answer is, as much as I love this album, no, it's not up there with Illmatic. It's not up there with The Chronic.
Okay, yeah, I'm interpreting.
I could be
the question
wrong.
different. Yeah, I'm
saying,
interpreting
that's how I
different.
read that question.
I'm reading
It
this
says
like
compete.
Yeah, that's what Dre said in the clip. He said it's going to compete with all the classic hip hop records that have come out over the last 10 years.
I think
They're
so.
clearly not talking about sales because it's not like Illmatic sold a shitload, right? When it first came out.
It did it.
So they're not talking about sales. I think they're talking about this album is going to be as good as these other classics.
Or close to the same. Like competing doesn't mean beating. It means that it's in the same realm. I think it's in the same realm.
Give me a vocabulary.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
saying.
appreciate
Hey,
you
bro.
teach.
I'm a
Professor Feefo.
Yeah, I'm really me and Myke.
We both the
differently.
wordsmiths.
You know what
on
I'm
the
saying?
show.
I'm kind of in the middle, but I'm leaning more towards Myke. It's just like when you hold those other albums up and you look at the covers on the wall, and then there's this one, and it's just like, I don't know, like as big of a moment as it was, when you look at Illmatic, The Chronic, and Ready to Die, it's just, it feels like it's different, bro.
So you don't feel it belongs at all.
No, it's a different tier. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a
That's a good way to
different
put
tier.
it. Yep. Yeah, it's still a classic
Okay.
album.
It's definitely
Nobody's
a classic
denying
album,
that.
and it's still a great album. Like
Yeah.
there's
So-
not really skippables.
So I get that. So that from that point, yeah, it's tiers. It's tier levels.
Levels to this
it's still,
shit.
Yeah, it's still classic albums. These are the tier 1 classic albums. These
Right.
are okay. So from that point, yes,
And
I was looking at
think
it.
that's what the question is.
Yeah,
saying.
I was looking at it as just a totality. Like, okay, if you got
I mean, if it's a totality, then you can throw anything in. Like you can throw like a Slick Rick album in there, or like nothing against Slick
Great
Rick.
Rich
But
and
I'm
Slick Rick
saying,
is.
huh?
I mean, Great Rich and Slick Rick is a
Right?
classic.
Are you gonna put
It
that
is
up against
classic.
Illmatic?
Yeah, I put up against Illmatic. Great Rich and Slick Rick. Yes.
I would buy that
Really?
before I would
Yeah.
buy Get Rich or Die Tryin'.
Really?
But
I would buy
Slick Rick?
comparing Slick Rick's
Yes.
Great
Great
Adventures
before
with
Get Rich or Die
Illmatic
Tryin'?
before I would compare Get Rich or Die Tryin' to Illmatic.
oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
I don't agree, but I feel you.
You probably never heard Slick Rick's album. That's why
I
you don't
have.
agree.
No, I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't really listen to old shit, so I figured you just skip that one over.
Now Slick Rick, he's
I
one
need
of
to
those
hear
I
this.
went back and
Okay.
listened to.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
no,
But
Slick- yeah, Great Riches.
but for me,
I feel you.
know,
Yeah,
Get Rich.
this is not shitting on 50's
Yeah,
album. I want to
And
make sure that's
shit,
clear.
B, you just said it earlier. You don't even play this shit.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah, I don't.
Ooh,
But
damn.
I bet you would play
overplayed it,
this
though.
other shit.
Ooh, damn.
But I said, I still list all those albums over Get Rich or Die Tryin'. I said that. Right.
Like JV Foxx.
Braxton.
but shit, Get Rich or Die Tryin' 20 years.
Congrats, 50.
You said February what?
February
Six.
6th.
February
2003.
6, 2003. And the day we're recording this is what day is it today? The 9th? The 8th.
The 8th.
February 8th, 2023. So definitely
Crazy.
20 years and 2 days.
I was a fucking adult.
You know what I'm
still, man.
saying?
That's nuts.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. How do you guys feel about Get Rich or Die Tryin'? Obviously, it's 50's best work, but does it compete with some of the albums that Ken mentioned? You already know what to do, man. Leave the comments. We out. Peace.